Hello, everyone. You are now tuned in to the Millionaire Millennial. I am your host, Stack Banks. For those of you who are just tuning in or are watching us on YouTube, be sure to check out the links for our Instagrams, not only mine, but the show's as well. Mine is stackbanks.official, and the show's is the Millionaire Millennial podcast on Instagram as well, and links to our respective YouTubes, Spotify, Pandora, all that are included in the bios and the link trees. So today is May 25th, 2024, and we're going to get straight into it. Today's also going to be a shortened episode, about 20 minutes long. Those of you who are tuning in, I believe on Spotify, you guys get video feed of this. And those of you who are tuning in on YouTube. But up above me on this screen here is the actual YouTube channel. There's me. And for those of you that want to see, we've got a wealth of different videos that you guys can actually look through and hopefully get some value out of. And there'll be some more live streams as time goes on. But those of you who haven't already, feel free to look back through our catalog. If this episode is not of particular interest to you, and you have others that are, we will touch on different subjects. The whole idea for my new listenership of this podcast is to bring you guys as much value as possible. I don't have a course or anything like that to sell you. I have businesses of my own, and as an entrepreneur, I seek to talk to other CEOs, not only for my own benefit, for the creation of businesses and furthering business ideas, but I try to capture those conversations and share them with you guys. And so these shortened bi-weekly episodes are meant to are meant to catch you guys up on certain subjects that I myself might have particular knowledge of that you guys don't, and I don't want to speak above your guys' heads. And also it's a way for me to make sure that I am touching on subjects that are relevant to our time at present moment, right? So there's a lot of guys out there like Dave Ramsey who will focus specifically on personal finance, things like that, who I think do a great job. I'm not here to counter argue anyone's way of getting to wealth or starting a business. This is meant as education for you guys and hopefully a starting point, and hopefully it'll function somewhat as a means to keep you guys abreast of what's going on in current markets that some of these guys don't touch on, right? So Dave Ramsey, I'm trying to think. I'm not familiar with all of them, like guys like Tony Robbins, whoever. I forget his name, Ty. But a lot of these guys have great knowledge, and I think you can learn something from anybody, even if it's like the wrong starting point, right? Like you might tune into some creator on YouTube or TikTok or whatever the case may be, and you're getting a lot of confusing information from them, and people make response videos. I think all of that's good. So this podcast today is going to be about a couple different subjects that I think are of note and of importance that are happening today in May, specifically focusing on the crypto space. Okay. And the reason why is because I believe the crypto space at this moment in time, crypto and Web3, is the largest space or marketplace, marketplace, however you want to put it, that is going to make the most millionaires in the next decade. I think it's going to make the most compounded exponential millionaires, right? People who put in $1,000 and cash out $1 million or 2 million or whatever the number may be, right? People who put in very small amounts of money comparative to when they take profit and what that potential is. I think blockchain and Web3, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what these technologies can do. And I think we're going to see companies that are just larger and larger and larger coming into this space and revolutionizing not only that space and that marketplace, but current spaces in the real physical world as we know it, just like the internet did and technology has since we started utilizing it as a species. So number one, that's the main reason, right? Because I want my listenership to be informed of the coming trends and be abreast of it, and at least have a starting point of where you guys can start, kind of, if you will, like putting your toe into the water, right, of the crypto Web3 space. So, and some of you might already have this knowledge. Like I said, I have a series where we deep dive with CEOs and founders, and hopefully that's of more value to those of you guys who this is more rudimentary stuff. But what we're going to try to focus every week on doing is making sure that we are covering topics and you guys are getting my personal opinions on things. And I try to be pretty diplomatic and non-comment. What's the word? I don't like to commentate on most of what's going on in the Web3 space. Number one, because I don't run the companies, or I didn't build the blockchain, and some of them I just don't participate in, right? Like I don't hold any of it, but I know that the communities are strong and they're passionate. and some of these really are rug pulls and terrible Ponzi schemes, and it's something that my work specifically in the Web3 and blockchain space is to bring about compliance. And some of you might wonder, well, what does that mean? Or it's something that I am not seeking to take away the spirit or the freedom that Web3 and blockchain has and offers us, peer-to-peer payment systems, things like that. But I think there is a way to bring about compliance in this space where we can worry less about the bad actors in the space and people who are getting into the space specifically to defraud people. And I don't think the SEC, because their job is to regulate securities, and they're a watchdog for Wall Street. And crypto is not that. Crypto is something new, and we can't take old, antiquated systems that I believe are not doing the greatest job of being preventative in regulating their space as is. So for them to then try and jump into the Web3 space and regulate that space and pull all of it into these antiquated definitions, right? Because what the SEC wants to do is reclassify crypto as a security, which it's not by definition. It's just not. And I think there needs to be something, multiple parties really working in tandem that have some type of oversight in this space. If nothing else, to at least tell the retail investors these projects have been vetted and have been found to be in good faith and good compliance within the space. Now, regulatory bodies and Congress and the Senate and local municipalities and local states are going to have to figure out specific laws regarding crypto if they ever get on it. I mean, it's something that Bitcoin came out in 2008, and this is just now in 2024 becoming a very hot topic, hot button issue. So I think most people don't realize that the crypto space is an ecosystem like anything else, and it's only partially built, and it needs the other half and other parts built in order for the ideas and the promises of it to come true, and also for compliance within it to be what would you call that? But fully accepted, or a gold standard, like how it would be with the SEC or the FDIC, things like that, where people have the ability to have trust and faith that the things they're putting their monies into aren't outright scam. Okay, so there's that. Filled you guys in a little bit on that. So what we're gonna do is talk a little bit about what's going on in the crypto space. Notably, Shiba Inu, the Dogecoin dog Kabuso, died after 14 years as a meme. So this is essentially a meme coin that had started 14 years ago, or excuse me, a meme that had started 14 years ago and had actually led that meme eventually became the face of Dogecoin, the cryptocurrency. So the actual physical dog has passed away. The owner had talked about it. The dog was a rescue. And they don't know the exact age of the dog, but they believe she was somewhere around 18 years of age, and she had been suffering from leukemia and I believe liver disease, and she passed away happily in her sleep. And so many of the people in the crypto community are mourning the loss of this iconic dog. And I'm sure there'll be many more meme coins to come after that. So that was notable in the crypto community. Also of note, we've talked before about ETFs and what these ETFs are. So ETFs are exchange traded funds. BlackRock, Grayscale, there's a couple other large institutional investors. That's what you guys would think of as the places where the mutual funds are at, where the pensions and the pension funds are at, where these basically the baby boomer generation, where most of their retirement funds are kept, is with these large institutions. These institutions are the ones like BlackRock, who are buying up all the retail housing around the United States. So most of my viewership probably knows them from that, but BlackRock and Grayscale and a couple of these other very large institutional investors have been buying a ton of Bitcoin, and to the tune of like 20-30 billion worth. I believe they're at, I think, 29 billion or something like that. So what they end up doing is buying all this Bitcoin, they hold it in what's called an ETF. And these ETFs have to get approval from the SEC. And the SEC had done that back in March or April, I believe, of this year. They had approved the Bitcoin ETFs, a bunch of the Bitcoin ETFs. And so it basically becomes a fund where investors can buy into Bitcoin or whatever's in the ETF without directly holding it. So why is this news? It's huge news because most of the money in the United States right now is held by the baby boomer generation. So a lot of these retirement funds like BlackRock, or excuse me, a lot of these institutional investors like BlackRock hold massive amounts of funds, right? And there's banks and different things, and some of them might try and offer ETFs or participate in them or buy into them once these institutional investors offer them at scale. So the big thing was the Bitcoin ETF, and that has set up a wave of other ETFs from other funds. So Solana, XRP are actually next after Ethereum. Not sure that those will actually start trading up until maybe July or August of this year, but be assured more crypto ETFs are coming. That's according to the British multinational bank Standard Chartered, whose digital assets researcher said in a Friday note that Solana and XRP will soon get their own exchange-traded funds. The United States Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, yesterday approved 8 spot Ethereum ETFs. The unexpected and historic move means that traditional investors can now buy shares which track the price of the second biggest digital asset. This move follows the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs back in January. Actually, I misspoke earlier. Standard Charter's head of crypto research, Geoffrey Kendrick, head of crypto research and emerging market foreign currencies, said that it's now only a matter of time before other major digital coins receive the ETF wrapper status. So what does that mean for you guys and those of you who are in the meme coin world, right? Because what's a meme coin? A lot of these are built on these blockchains like Ethereum, XRP, whatever, their second layer, stuff like that. And potentially that could mean massive gains for those of you who hold them. Once again, and I've said this before on this channel, this is not investment advice. This is not something that is meant to be that you should read this or watch this or listen to this channel and then go ape your money into a bunch of shit coins or meme coins and come back around and blame me for it or told you I should do it or you should do it. Don't. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but what I'm saying is you need to inform yourself and know what these cryptos are, what these secondary shit coins, meme coins, whatever you want to call them. There's multiple different names for them. What they're expected to do on each individual network. I would imagine with an approval, an ETF approval, that the value of most of these coins will go up. So any meme coins, shit coins, excuse my language, but they're just what they're called, that are associated with them or on those ledgers more than likely will also see an increase in value. Don't take my word for it, and don't take it across the board. You need to do your research if that's a play that you're planning on doing, but there's a lot of opportunity there. So that's in the near future is the ETFs. And then in other big news, what I believe to be a great cryptocurrency, personally, I have not vetted it necessarily. Full disclosure, I do hold some, but XRP, and it's been on the market for a while. But the CEO, and just to inform you guys what XRP is. So XRP is a cryptocurrency, and it's the native token of the open source XRP ledger. It's founded in 2012 by David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito. XRP is pre-mined. XRP, is pre-mined and has a total supply of 100 billion tokens. It's more cost-effective and has faster transaction times and is less energy intensive than Bitcoin. So, a while back, XRP had been listed on Coinbase, and then it had stopped. So I'm going to read you guys a quick little blurb from an article from Forkcast, Forkast, where they talk about this specifically. So Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange, most of you would know it. Think of it like Robinhood, right? For those of you who don't have any cryptocurrency, you might have heard of the app Robinhood, where you can essentially buy and sell stocks and ETFs and things, which they also have now a cryptocurrency offering on their app. But Coinbase was an app specifically designed for cryptocurrencies. So Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange, has re-enabled XRP trading for its New York customers as of Thursday, following a suspension that began in January of 2021. So a legal dispute between the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, and Ripple Labs, which developed the XRP ledger, led to the suspension of XRP trading. So New York is known for its highly stringent cryptocurrency regulations. And this reinstatement would allow locals to trade and store XRP on Coinbase, including through its mobile app. So the introduction of XRP trading in New York on May 23rd indicates Coinbase's compliance with the state's regulatory standards, including the BitLicense framework. So this move follows a trend of expanding cryptocurrency services in New York, as seen with Robinhood's, I'd mentioned earlier, Robinhood's recent addition of new crypto assets for New York clients. And Coinbase's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, announced the relaunch, emphasizing the exchange's efforts to work with the New York state regulators to facilitate XRP's comeback. The decision, it said, to resume XRP trading follows a 2023 court decision that clarified the legal status of secondary XRP sales, leading to its reinstatement on various U.S. trading platforms. So those of you who don't know what XRP is, I don't have enough time in this episode to specifically go into why XRP is such a big deal. Maybe in next episode I will, and maybe we'll talk about a couple other cryptocurrencies that are hot topics on the market. That might be a good idea. But for those of you who don't know, please educate yourself on what's going on with that. XRP is poised and claiming to and promising to do a lot of very interesting things. And I've got about 1 minute left before we cut this episode. So in other news, I wanted to talk to you guys about in the global situation out there, what's going on with China and Taiwan, and specifically why that's important on today's podcast. So I pulled up a clip off of TikTok, and I'll show it to you guys now. But it's by Jensen Huang, who is NVIDIA's CEO, and he is talking about why Taiwan is important and why the global situation, or excuse me, the current global affairs situation that's going on with Taiwan and China is important. So right now, Taiwan is in the midst of naval drills being conducted by China. And China has expressed multiple times an interest to take over Taiwan and has stated that Taiwan is part of the People's Republic of China. And I'm not going to comment on that. This is not a political channel as far as the geopolitical implications of that, or if China's correct or Taiwan's correct or not. But for those of you who don't know, most of the world's computer chips are produced in Taiwan, and most of the innovation that happens in that space happens in Taiwan. So if China were to go in and essentially control that space or shut it down, it would impact the world and technology and how we utilize it. So things to look out for on the horizon. I appreciate your guys' time for tuning in. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. And I apologize for those of you who didn't. But check us out up here, like I said, at Stackbanks Official on YouTube, and I'm stackbanks.official on Instagram, or the Millionaire Millennial Podcast on Instagram. You can check us out there for the latest clips. Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever your podcasts, wherever you get them, we are there, and we hope to find you. And hopefully this cast was of value to you guys. I appreciate your listenership, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you guys, or having you guys tune in next time with us when we deep dive a couple of these issues more thoroughly. So I appreciate you all. Be great.